All right, so today we're going to begin our series going through my book, At the Altar of Sexual Idolatry. And I actually want to start with the title, because just the title of this book, we can make some assumptions about what's in the contents of the book. So I want to just start off for a couple of minutes making a couple of assumptions. And let me start with this one, that you can tell by the title that this book is not going to address the subject of sexual addiction through a psychotherapeutic perspective. It's going to deal with it from a spiritual perspective. In other words, the title isn't How to Overcome Sexual Addiction. There's not going to be any faddish gimmicks in this book. I'm not going to tell you about putting a rubber band on your arm and snapping it when you see a pretty girl or bouncing your eyes or something. Behavioral modification cannot change a man's heart. Sexual addiction is first and foremost a spiritual problem that requires spiritual answers. And that's what this book is going to provide you, is answers to overcoming a sin issue. So that's the first thing we can, derive from the title of the book. The second one is this. This is not a self-help book. It's a God-help book. When you think about the inference of self-help, it means that you don't need God, that you are going to be your own surgeon. You're going to take a look at what's wrong in there, and you're going to deal with it. Well, the problem with that is that we have a fallen nature, and we are very content to have a lot of junk in our lives and in our hearts. It's just something that's causing us problems with our, living our American dream that we want to get rid of. So what we do is we pick and choose, and we just kind of separate out this one little problem, and we say, I'm going to fix this. That's what behavioral modification does, is try to keep everything else about your life intact, but just deal with this one little problem area. But it does not work that way when you got God in the picture, I can tell you that. God has the power to set us free. He absolutely does. But if you want God's help in your life, if you want that power to come into your heart, you've got to bring your heart to Him, and you've got to hand it to Him, and you have to cry out to Him to do a work in that heart. You've got to come to the Lord and say, Lord, something foul has taken root in my heart, and I am pleading with you to get in there and root that thing out of there.